Once upon a time, in a beautiful kingdom, there lived a kind and gentle princess named Afeefa. She loved animals, flowers, and helping everyone around her. Wherever she walked, birds sang happily and people smiled. One morning, Queen Mother called Afeefa to the royal garden. She said, "My dear daughter, it is time for you to travel to a faraway kingdom and meet a brave and noble prince." Then she gave Afeefa a small handkerchief filled with love and blessings. Afeefa began her journey. A maid named Zara traveled beside her. They rode through green fields, deep forests, and shining rivers. The road was long, but Afeefa's heart was full of hope. At noon, Afeefa became thirsty. She said softly, "Zara, please bring me some water." But Zara proudly replied, "I will not serve you anymore. Get the water yourself." Afeefa was surprised but stayed quiet. When Afeefa bent down to drink from the stream, the little handkerchief slipped from her hand. It floated away in the sparkling water. Afeefa reached for it, but it was gone. Her eyes filled with sadness. Zara saw her chance. She stepped closer and said, "From now on, I will be the princess, and you will be the servant. If you tell anyone the truth, I will harm you." Gentle Afeefa felt frightened and silent. When they arrived at the grand castle, everyone believed Zara was the princess. Afeefa walked quietly behind her, but the old king noticed the sadness in Afeefa's eyes. He felt there was a secret in her heart. Since there was no special work for her, Afeefa was sent to care for the geese with a cheerful boy named Ollie. Every morning they walked together to the green meadow, where flowers bloomed and birds sang. The geese gathered happily around Afeefa. One windy day, her golden hair shone brightly in the sunlight. Ollie looked at her in surprise and said, You do not seem like an ordinary servant. You look like a princess." Afeefa only smiled and said nothing. But the old king had quietly followed them. He hid behind a tree and watched carefully. When Ollie walked a little farther away, Afeefa stood beside an old tree. Tears filled her eyes. She whispered, "Oh, my heart, if only I could tell someone the truth. I am a princess, but no one knows me." The old king heard every word. That evening, he gently called Afeefa to the palace. "Do not be afraid," he said kindly. "I know the truth now. You are the real princess." The next day, the king arranged a grand feast. The prince, ministers, and royal guests gathered in the great hall. Zara sat proudly in fine clothes and shining jewels. The king asked, "What should happen to a servant who betrays her princess and steals her place?" Zara answered proudly, "She should be punished, and the real princess should get her place back." The king said, "Then you have judged yourself." Everyone gasped. Afeefa entered wearing beautiful royal clothes. The prince smiled warmly. Soon, Prince and Princess Afeefa were married, and the whole kingdom celebrated with joy. From that day on, Afeefa ruled with kindness, fairness, and love, and they all lived happily ever after.